Let's start the next part of our topic, that is nothing but major soil types in India. Some dominant group of Indian soil are classified according to the soil taxonomy, means at which particular area it is present. Based on that it get classified over there. What I mean to tell you is that the main dominant group of Indian soils, it just get classified according to what, or according to their soil taxonomy. Okay, the major group get classified according to their what? Soil taxonomy. Means at which a particular area, a particular soil is present, based on that it get classified. And again also it can be classified based on their what? Chemical property. It get classified based on their chemical property as well. Then based on that, the major types or dominant group of Indian soil get classified. First of all, various types are available. In that, one by one we will going to see over here. Just to see first type which will be there. The main or first type of Indian soil over there, that is nothing but red soil. Okay, let's see one by one. First type which will be there, that is nothing but red soil. So red soil, they are quite wide in their spread, and the red color is due to the diffusion of iron into the profile of that particular soil. The red color which will be there, it is present because of what? The red color is due to the diffusion. The red color is due to the what? Diffusion of iron. Diffusion of iron in the profile of soil. Okay, in the profile of what? Soil. In the profile of soil. Okay, what I mean to tell you is that the main dominant group in India which are present because of soil taxonomy as well as chemical property of that particular soil. In that first type which will be there, that is red. They are quite wide in their spread, means various wide variety of soil is present, and in that the red color happens, or red color of that particular soil is because of diffusion of iron in the profile of soil. Okay, this is first type. Second type which will be there, that is nothing but lateritic soil. Okay, lateritic soil. So let's see what is the meaning of this lateritic soil. It is composed of mixture of, it is what? It is composed of mixture of hydrated oxide, composed of mixture of hydrated oxides of aluminium, oxides of aluminium and iron with small amount of manganese oxide. Aluminium and iron, I'll write here Fe, okay, with small amount of manganese oxide, with small amount of MnO2 I will write, okay, manganese oxide over there. So next soil which will be there, laterite soil, which is composed of mixture of hydrated oxide of aluminum and iron with small amount of manganese oxide. Okay, this is second type. Third type which will be there, let's see which is the third type. Third type is nothing but, third type of soil is of black soil. Okay, black soil. And here in the black soil, what we will going to deal is, it contain high proportion of calcium, magnesium carbonates, okay, and have a high degree of fertility. As you compared, you already know that compared to this red soil, lateritic soil, this particular black soil which will be there, it is having the high degree of fertility. What? Then this black soil which will be there, it contains, okay, it contains what? It contains high proportion of, it contains high proportion of PRO, high proportion of calcium. I'll write here Ca only, of calcium, and again magnesium carbonate and MgCO3. I'll write MgCO3, magnesium carbonate, and because of this it is having what? High degree of what? Fertility. It is having high degree of fertility. Okay, this is about the black soil. Next we will going to deal about alluvial soil. This is the largest and agriculturally most important group of soil. Which soil? Alluvial soil. Next type which will be there, that is fourth type, is nothing but alluvial soil. Alluvial soil. Okay, it is largest and important, agriculturally very important group of soil. Important group of soil, okay, of alluvial soil. So what we are going to do, again we are having two types, one is desert soil and another one is the forest and hill soil. We already know that desert soil, where it can be occur, it is occur in the dry area and important content of cords, isn't it? Next, forest and hill soil, it is also, it is high in the organic matter itself. So we are going to dealing here what? Major soil types in the India, and they are dominated, or dominant group of Indian soil is classified according to what? Soil taxonomy as well as chemical property, and based on that first content is red soil, red color because of the diffusion of iron in the profile of soil. Next soil which will be the laterite soil, and here laterite soil composed of mixture of hydrated oxides of aluminum, iron and small amount of MnO2, that is nothing but what? Manganese oxide. Next, black soil, it contains high proportion of calcium and magnesium carbonate, and because of this it is having what? High degree of fertility. Next, alluvial soil, and again two types which are there, I'll tell you that. Okay, this is what? Desert soil occur mostly in the dry areas, that is in deserts itself. Next, and forest and hill soil, because of the forest containing many more of plants, and again hills also containing herb, shrub, and there all leaves and all organic material will be fallen down in that particular soil, mingled in that particular soil, and because of that it containing what? High organic matter itself. Next part we will going to deal plant nutrients and their function. Next part we will going to deal plant nutrients and their functions. So in this case, what is the meaning of plant nutrients? Means several elements. Okay. So what is the meaning of plant nutrients? Several elements take part. Several elements take part in the what? Take part in the growth of plant. Several elements take part in the growth of plants and as well as development of growth and development of plants, and those absorbed from what? The soil, and generally that nutrients is known as what? Plant nutrients. And what? And those absorbed from the soil, okay, and are generally known as what? Are generally known as plant nutrients. Okay, so what is the meaning of plant nutrients? Several elements take part in the growth and development of plants, and those absorbed from the soil, and these are known as what? Plant nutrients. And beside these, plant take up carbon, oxygen, hydrogen either from the air or from the water, or it can be absorbed from the root. In all, 16 elements have been identified and established for the essential of plant growth. So which are that 16 elements? Let's we see. So what I want to tell you is that from air some nutrient it can be absorbed just like of carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, and this can be absorbed by leaves itself, okay, by any other process just like of guttation, diffusion, or maybe of photosynthesis. Next part, water can be absorbed by roots itself, isn't it? We already know the some processes regarding it. And again, except that or beside of this all, the plant again require elements for the essential for the growth and development of plant, and there are mainly 16 elements have been identified for the growth and development of plants itself. So which are those? First one is an carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, sulfur, zinc, again manganese, copper, boron, molybdenum, and again what? Chlorine. These elements are serves as raw material for the growth and development of plant and the formation of fruits as well as what? Seeds. What is the main motto for the giving these all elements for the plant? For the good amount or good quality of the fruits, good quality of the seeds we require from the plant, isn't it? And most of the essential elements are found liberal quantities in the mineral soil, and in spite of this fact, these are available plenty in those areas may not be available in the plant as they are tied up minerals, chemical compounds. The roots cannot absorb the deliver them and growing the plant synthesis, and hence we need for the assessing the plant available amount of nutrient in the soil and meeting the deficiency by application of manure fertilizers to such soil for the optimum crop production. What I mean to tell you is that in this all plant, these all elements will not get easily, isn't it? Such case we have to provide that these elements in the form of what? Fertilizers. For what purpose? For getting the good quality of fruits as well as what? Seeds, isn't it? We require to provide these good fruits and seeds. We require to provide this all essential elements itself. Okay, now the next part we will going to deal, that is nothing but plant nutrients. So let's start the next part of our topic, that is nothing but what? Plant nutrients. And although plants absorbed a large amount of or large number of elements, all of them are not essential for the growth of crops, isn't it? There are some elements which are very much essential, which are very much required for the growth and development of that particular plant, but all elements won't require. The elements are absorbed and become they are happen to be in the soil. What I mean to tell you is that the elements should be get absorbed by that particular plant itself, and they are meant to be in the soil. Means what? Consider if this is our complete soil, isn't it, over here, and the fertilizers we are giving in the form of what? Solid itself, that should be get converted into the liquid form, isn't it? If they are come in contact with water, and again they are reached in where the exact root of our plant which is present over here, isn't it? And they are absorbed by that particular root tip or root present of that particular plant, and then only it can be passed in the stem, then again in the leaf, and then after that our crop get converted or crop will get a good quality of fruits over here, isn't it? So the elements are absorbed and become they are happen to be in the soil, they are absorbed. Okay, consider if this solid which are there, these are what? Our elements. The elements to be absorbed and become to be happen into the soil solution, and those are taking part active part in the growth and developmental process. Such elements we used to call it as an what? Essential elements, isn't it? Or these elements we are called it as an essential ones, and some of these are required in what? There are some elements which are required in the large amount, and some of them are not required large amount, they are require only small quantity. Based on that, it again get classified into two types, or the two types which are follows. That first one is there, that is nothing but major nutrients. Okay, in that again we are having two groups. Group 1, I will write over here, don't worry. Group 2, which are the major nutrients, I'll tell you. In the major nutrient, first we are having group 1 major, which are required essentially. Carbon is there, hydrogen is there, and next major nutrient oxygen is there, isn't it? And next group 2 we are having nitrogen. Okay, then we are having phosphorus, and again major nutrient our potassium. So next, secondary nutrients. These are the major, they are essential ones. Secondary nutrients, let me see. Secondary nutrients. Okay, secondary nutrients. Which are those? I'll tell you. Secondary nutrients. In that we are having secondary nutrients, calcium. Next, again secondary nutrients, we are having magnesium. Next, sulfur. Okay, these are two secondary nutrients. And again third type which will be there, that is nothing but micronutrients. Okay, micro, very less quantity they are required. We used to call it as a micronutrients. As we already know, here we saw mainly 16 elements in the last part. In that we have took over here only 9, and in that 16 remaining now 7 elements which are there, it comes under this. Which are those? Iron is there, manganese is there, boron is there, zinc is there, and again copper is there, isn't it? Molybdenum is there, and again chlorine is there, isn't it? And chlorine is there. So these are about the elements. Next, we will see it has to be found that the presence of some elements which are not considered essential for the plant growth and are not directly concerned in the nutrition of the crop also, but are present in the plant and used as a food and feed, and are of vital importance for the health of man and animals. And the elements within these groups are iodine, cobalt, sodium, and addition to this another group of elements which are toxic to the animals feeding on the plant containing them, isn't it? So what I mean to tell you is that except these elements, there are again some elements are there. Again they are required, they are important of the particular plant itself for the nutrition of crop, but they are present in the plant and can be used as food and feed. They are already present in the plant. So which are those elements? Let's we see. So what I want to tell you is that presence of some elements which are not essential for plant growth and they are present in the plant, food and feed they are using over there. So which are those? And are of vital importance for the health of man and animals. So which are that elements? Let's we see. Those elements are iodine is there. Next, cobalt is there. Okay, cobalt is there. Next, sodium is there. Sodium is there. Then in addition to this, there are another group of elements which are toxic to the animals feeding on the plant. Means you already know there are some domestic animals which can be feed on the plants itself, just like of grass, isn't it? But there are some toxic elements also present over there. If they are present in the plant, it can be produce toxicity to the animals. Okay, so toxic elements which are present in the plant, let's we see which are those toxic elements which are present in the plant. So there are some toxic elements also present to the animals after feeding on the plant containing them. These are nothing but selenium is there. Next, lead is there. You already know lead is very much of toxic in the nature. Next, thallium is there. Next, arsenic is there. Arsenic is there. Fluorine. And the elements such as sodium, fluorine, nickel, lead, arsenic, aluminium, chromium, when occurring in the soil in the high available amount may also prove as toxic to the plant and restrict the growth. If such elements, and again except this, again some elements which are toxic in the nature, if they are present in what soil, that particular soil we can consist or we can consider as a toxic soil, and which is very dangerous for the growth of plant over there. And some elements occur freely in the soil, are absorbed by the plants as an impurities, and they are occasionally stimulates the growth, although they are not essential for the plant growth. They include what I want to tell you is that simply there are some elements which are occur freely in the soil and they can be absorbed by the plant. Some elements which are occur in the freely in the soil, okay, and again what they are absorbed by plant impurities, plants as impurities, okay, they can be absorbed by plant as impurities, and they may occasionally stimulates, what they will do, they will stimulates or they will stop stimulates the growth, although they are not essential for the plant growth. They are what? Not essential for plant growth. Okay. So which are those particular elements? They include lithium, again strontium, radium, beryllium, vanadium, barium, mercury, okay, silver and bromine. Barium, beryllium, bromine, vanadium, strontium, radium, lithium, silver and mercury. Some elements which can be stimulates the growth of particular plant. And also next term, the silica which will be there is reported to be beneficial particularly in the rice, but not classified as essential as per the criteria fixed for the purpose, this particular purpose, isn't it? It is beneficial only for rice but not considered as essential, not considered as essential element, okay, essential elements. So what I mean to tell you is that this is a very important question which is can ask for 5 marks, isn't it? Plant nutrients, there are some nutrients which are available in the nature itself required for the growth and development of plant, and the elements are absorbed and become, they happen to be in the soil solution, and those are taking active part in the growth and development process are called as essential ones, isn't it? And these particular elements for the some of these are required in the large amount and some of they are maybe in lesser amount or less amount. These are classified major and micronutrients, and they are further classified as follows: major nutrients in the group 1 carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, group 2 nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, secondary nutrients calcium, magnesium, sulfur, micronutrients iron, manganese, boron, zinc, copper, molybdenum and chlorine. It has to be found that presence of some elements which are not considered essential for the growth of plant. Okay, so they are present in the plant for what purpose? For food and feed, are vital in the importance of health of man and animal as well. Okay, and the elements within these groups are iodine, cobalt, sodium, okay, and these are some elements which are present in this particular part, and there are some elements within these groups are another group of elements which are toxic to the animals feeding on the plant containing them. So these are selenium, lead, thallium, arsenic, fluorine. And the elements such as sodium, fluorine, nickel, lead, arsenic, selenium, aluminum, chromium, when they are occur in the soil in the high available amount, they are proved as toxic to the plant and restrict the growth. Such elements if are present, then that soil is considered as a toxic soil. Then what? Some elements occur freely in the soil and are absorbed by the plant impurities and occasionally stimulates the growth, although they are not essential for the plant growth. They are include lithium, strontium, radium, beryllium, barium, boron, vanadium, mercury and silver. So these are not required. They can be restrict or stimulates the growth of plant. Then again silica, which can be reported as a beneficial only for what? The particularly in the rice, but not classified as essential as per the criteria fixed for this purpose itself. So this is very important question for 5 mark purpose. Okay, so I hope you have understood this particular part, and the next class we will going to deal the next part of our topic, that is nothing but what? Deficiency of an element causes by the of soil, because of that which are the effect happen on the crop itself. Deficiency of an elements. Thank you.